Hello.
Hello. Okay, so how can I name you? Mrs. Rocky Rocket? This is good?
Yes.
Okay, so this is Mrs. Rocky Rocket from Houston, right? 713.
Yes.
Ok. Para todos los espectadores de Madrid PIMS, para todos nuestros soldados del Deep South, tenemos aquí a una investigadora independiente sobre el sonido del hip hop de Houston, que lleva muchos años trabajando, haciendo documentales, indagando mucho en la escena del 713. Y tenemos el placer de poder hacerle unas preguntillas sin robarle mucho tiempo para que nos explique un poco más, saber un poco más realmente desde dentro cómo es la cultura del hip hop ahí en Houston. Entonces, if you want, we can start right now with the first question, right? So tell us about,
Yes.
okay, I'm going in Spanish. I can cut it later. Mrs. Rocky, dinos exactamente cuál es tu dedicación dentro de la cultura del hip hop en Houston. So tell us about exactly what's your dedication into Houston hip hop culture.
I started in the hip hop industry trying to push independent music artists.
Okay.
When I met ESG of the Screwed Up Click,
Uh-huh.
when I met ESG, he asked me to manage him, and I was shocked. I was
You were
very
scary.
shocked. Yes. Even before then, I was managing an artist by the name of Lo Trillinger.
Okay.
And I even asked Lo, I'm like, ESG is asking me to manage him. Like, what do I do?
So,
And he's
sorry,
like,
he was big at the time?
yes, he was.
Okay.
Yeah, well, Lo Trillinger was an independent music artist who actually did a song with Pimp C.
Okay.
Back in the day.
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. Pimp C. And so when ESG asked me to manage him, we all became family.
Okay.
And started all going on the road together, and we started supporting independent artists together. And so along the way I met people who were connected to DJ Screw.
Okay.
And and then I met the owner of Screwed Up Records and Tapes, and it just kept going and going and going until recently we worked with the Contemporary Arts Museum to put together an exhibition showing DJ Screw's stuff, his record collection, his pictures, and it started and it shut down due to COVID only like 1 week after it opened.
Wow.
Yeah, but they're going to reopen it. So follow Contemporary Arts Museum on Instagram, and they'll let you know when the opening date is going to be once things calm down in Houston from COVID.
Oh, so that's great, for real. He deserved it. So when you met ESG, this was the time when Screw was alive, right?
No.
No, he was there already. Okay.
No. I met ESG about maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay.
And I did not manage him through his entire career. He got to a point in his career where he was like, you know, I guess saw potential in, my ability to help bring things together, and asked me to help jump on his management team, which has continued since and evolved into me managing his brand.
Okay, so that's cool. Let's go with the second one, right? I will tell it in Spanish right now. Dinos en qué punto de tu vida más o menos descubriste que necesitabas como investigar más en la cultura del hip hop de tu ciudad de Houston. So tell us at what point in your life, how did you discover that you had this urge to dig into the history of Houston hip hop?
Well, I've always loved hip hop. My urge to dig into Houston hip hop started on hearing the slowed down sound.
Okay.
At the same time, it evolved as I got deeper into the music industry and realized that a lot of stuff that independent music artists went through back then is still happening today. And so I started studying. There's the Screw Archives, which have DJ Screws, pictures, vinyl,
Tapes, everything.
tapes, everything over at the University of Houston, here in Houston, in the special collections. Anybody can go see it. I don't know about COVID right now, but normally it's open to the public. You just go and you request to look at DJ Screw stuff, and they'll pull it out and let you see. So I met all of these people who really help educate me live about why the history of Houston hip hop. And I found out a lot that I didn't know. And it just kept driving me to uncover more and more and more as I met people like Julie Grobb and Lance Scott Walker.
Because as a fan from outside, I can relate that sometimes it's very difficult to have information from these artists or these years, you know. So that's a great job to do because it deserves it, you know. Okay, let's go with the third one. Vale. ¿Cuál ha sido la trayectoria que has buscado para encontrar toda esta información y todos estos recursos? So, what has been the trajectory that you have followed in this research journey?
How it's been shocking for me to see so many people who Screw impacted their lives. They all have different stories about their favorite Screw tapes or their favorite Houston hip hop artists, or fans of ESG tell me all the time, oh my God, my cousin listened to him and he's passed away, but you know, like ESG means the world to me because he meant the world to my cousin. And the stories are just amazing that they have of these memories that are really locked inside of people's heads. And that really shocked me how much of a difference hip hop can make to people. You know, you don't think that, you know, living here, it's different. But hearing of all of these memories and experiences that people had, a lot of them changed their lives. It changed the way that they think. And I thought that that was amazing and very shocking to me that it made that big of a difference.
Okay, and also it's like I went to Houston like 2 times in 2007 and 2009 maybe, but what the thing that I was very shocked about it, into like the Screw thing and all that, is that people are very proud of it. It's
yes.
It's like not normal to be like a hero in your own hometown, you know. So for me it was like shocking, you know, like, okay, this guy made it here, you know.
Yes, it is amazing, and it's always growing. Now you see that people like Megan Thee Stallion, Travis
Travis Scott,
Scott,
yeah. Mhm.
yeah, Maxo Cream. There's so many artists that have really grew up on DJ Screw and these other Houston hip hop artists.
Even
They
A$AP Rocky and all the guys
that
from New
A$AP
York and all that.
Rocky, well, he's not from Houston, but he was definitely
Yeah,
inspired by
influenced
the
by it. Yeah,
culture.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and it's amazing to hear all of this, how all of this really made a difference. It made a lot of these big artists want to rap.
Even in the pop culture, because you got like a screw chorus in most of the pop songs into the early 10s, like Miley Cyrus thing and all that. So it's kind of weird, like the music from this guy crossover like everything into different worlds. Okay, let's go with the
Exactly.
sorry, let's go with the four. En tu estudio de la cultura del hip hop en Houston, ¿qué es lo que más te ha sorprendido? In your study of Houston hip hop culture, what has surprised you the most?
Um, the thing that has surprised me the most was really how how much history there is out there.
Mhm.
It's a lot of history out there, more than we've even uncovered. Lance Scott Walker is a journalist who now resides in New York, and he's coming out with a DJ Screw biography. Either I think it's this year or 2022. And so he's made it where he goes and he interviews all of these people who were attached to DJ Screw and puts it out there. Um, but also, there's somebody named Donnie Houston who actually lives here in Houston,
Mhm.
and he has a YouTube channel and he does interviews with people who knew DJ Screw. And so there's just so much history. You can't even cover it all. It's so much history.
Every day is
Attached.
going things out of the arcs,
Yes,
something
yes,
new every day.
always something new.
Okay.
Always finding something new.
Vale, para la gente que va a empezar a intentar intentar como investigar por su cuenta, como un hobby, cualquier tipo de zona del hip hop, incluso puede ser Houston o cualquier otra parte del mundo que quiera investigar, ¿qué le recomendarías, qué pasos le recomendarías para hacer? For people who want to start researching this one or other movements within hip hop, for pure hobby, what fundamental recommendation would you make to them?
Okay, there's so many. For one,
Hey, list, guys.
yeah, a few I mentioned already. So Lance Scott Walker, he has rap tape books. It's called Rap Tapes.
Okay.
Donnie Houston, check out his podcast on YouTube. It's called the Donnie Houston Podcast on YouTube. If you come to Houston, go see the Screw Archives over at the University of Houston. It's in the library. It's called Special Collections, the Special Collections Department, and ask for Julie Grob. She's the head over the Special Collections Department. So you can talk to her and she'll show you things, she'll pull out records, everything. If you come, hopefully you guys can
Hopefully.
come. Yeah, hopefully when the Contemporary Arts Museum opens back up and they have an art exhibition that also includes certain pieces from the Screw archives over at the University of Houston. Also, visit Screwed Up Records and Tapes,
Yeah,
35
this is a must.
38
This is a must.
Uguay. It's a must. It's a must. You have to. And you could go, you can get the feel of the shop, you can buy merchandise and everything.
I had my t-shirt.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And also, beyond all of that, if you have a favorite artist, work backwards. So, like, let's say your favorite artist is ESG. ESG has songs with a lot of people. When you see him on a song with someone else, you do your research on that person and listen to their music.
Like a
And
trip.
then, yeah, exactly. And then just keep going backwards.
Okay. After in you know, like the design of the video and all that, we can put like all the names and all that here.
Yeah, and one more. Uno más. Uno más.
Let's go.
Join Facebook groups.
Okay.
Our Facebook groups, our biggest one has over 30,000 people in it.
Wow, that's huge.
Yes, it's huge. So anything
What's
with
the name of it?
Screw. So there are a lot of them. There are, I'll send them to you after this is over.
Okay.
But it's one of them is Screw Zoo. There's a whole bunch that are just about DJ Screw. In fact, if you just type DJ Screw and then click on it'll just give you so many groups, and all they do is share information. Okay. It's a big community.
That's nice. Nice to know. I didn't know that. Okay, so ¿cuál dirías tú que es tu, ¿no? ¿Qué espacio cubre un poco tu trabajo, ¿no? What role do you think your work has to fulfill?
DJ Screw died young, and there are many people who say different things about how he died or the reason for his passing, but either way, he should not have died so young.
So young, yeah.
And my role is to make sure that we're educating the future independent music artists on self-care and ways that they cannot overwork themselves or overindulge themselves into an early grave. That is my role, to give back to my community and use the example of DJ Screw to make a difference in the way that independent music artists are in the future.
It's like the old message from the hip hop, like transform the bad into the goodness and all that. Yes, it's great.
Yes.
Because nowadays we live in like bad times about it. Everyone is using drugs with the pill thing and all that. It's crazy. People think that
I know.
they can't listen to Screw music without the lean and all that, and that's like bullshit, you know.
I know. That's the reason why we have to. Oh yeah, no, that's the reason why we have to educate them and let them know that you can create without the extra, because we would rather have you around for a long time.
Yeah.
Than be a musical genius and pass away at 25 or 26 years old. That's not okay. That is not okay. We want you to be alive and create for a long time.
Yeah. 200% with that statement. Ok, next one. Vale, ¿cómo crees que han visto la comunidad de hip hop en Houston tu trabajo, ¿no? Y bueno, si te han hecho llegar un poco estas sensaciones, ¿no? How is your work seen by the rapper community of Houston, and if they evaluate it?
I feel that they value it. Um, I do a lot of different things. I work with independent music artists within our Houston scene. I work with our community, and I help people find their brand. Overall, I feel that they feel that it's valuable, but most of all, I know that it's valuable. I want to make sure that these artists are able to create. And I feel that that's the reason why we're all here, to do something and to make a difference. So even for people who didn't think it was a big deal, it's my life's purpose. It's my reason for one of my many reasons for being on earth and being alive.
That's beautiful. Okay, so this is the last one, right? Para terminar, ¿qué piensas supongo que en este ratito que hemos estado conectando habrás visitado nuestro perfil, habrás visto un poco nuestro grupo y todo esto? ¿Qué piensas un poco de esta iniciativa que viene desde España? Y alguna recomendación que puedas hacernos para buscar un poco todo esto que nos has dicho de información sobre Houston, que ya has contestado, pero bueno. To finish, what do you think of this initiative from Spain, and any recommendations that you said before? But it's like a conclusion thing, like to finish the
Yes.
interview.
I love what you guys are doing. We always have a saying that DJ Screw wanted to screw up the world. And I feel like that is bigger than Houston.
Yeah.
It's bigger than Texas. It's bigger than America.
Yeah.
And so anything that we can do to get the message out there of how important DJ Screw, the Screwed Up Clique, as well as all of our Houston independent artists, and all of our Texan artists, our Southern artists, get the stories out there. I think it's very important.
Because we know like a lot of histories about like the New York rappers and the LA rappers and all that, but I think that it's not too much information about what the South brings to the game, and this is important to the people that love hip hop.
It is.
Know it, you know. So what this is my personal view, but this was like strange to me back in the 2000s. 2005, 2006, we were doing like our first screw tape here in Spain, right?
Wow.
Yeah. And after that, I was into London to buy some records and all that. I'm a DJ, so I was like this kind of guy who goes into the shop in, you know, the crates and all that. So I was shocked because in 2005 it was like maybe 10 or 12 London groups. They were doing screw too, and I was like, wow, okay, this is not only our thing. In other parts of Europe, are people doing that? And I start to research people that maybe they can be from Germany or other countries, and there is people actually doing that. So it was crazy, shocking to me, for real.
Wow.
And in 2007, when we were acting in Houston 2 times in the Screwfest, and we were talking with the Mama's crew and Papa's crew and all that, and we were telling about it, and they were like, "No, you're lying to me." Like they
Oh,
can
wow.
believe it. They can believe it. It's like he tell us with a little bit of tears that he wants, hopefully his son can make it to see what he did, no? So it's
Mm,
very beautiful what they are doing. So I
that is,
appreciate
thank
it.
you. Thank you so much. I have something I'd like to do before I go.
Okay,
I've prepared something in Spanish.
okay, perfect,
Uh,
thanks.
my Spanish is not that good.
Okay, like my English, don't worry.
Okay, well, I guess the translator can work out and the subtitles can work out, whatever.
Okay,
But I have something.
okay, let's go.
Okay. Mi español no es el mejor, pero quería que todos escucharan en español lo que significa poder representar a mi ciudad en esta plataforma. Mucha gente no comprende lo importante que es y fue Houston para, para el desarrollo de artistas musicales independientes. Nuestras estaciones de radio no siempre apoyaron la música en nuestra propia ciudad y personas como DJ Screw dieron voz a nuestras comunidades pobres de negros y morenos a través de mixtapes. Su voz aún resuena por las calles de nuestra ciudad y se escucha en los autos que pasan. Aunque falleció hace 20 años, sigue siendo el corazón y alma de nuestra ciudad. Quiero que todos los que ven esto comprendan que no deben permitir que su voz sea silenciada. Los animo a todos a creer sin importar si su eterno. Creer significa que estás vivo y que estás cumpliendo el propósito de tu creación aquí en el mundo. Estoy seguro de que DJ Screw les habría animado a todos y cada uno de ustedes a mirar sus recursos y usar lo que tienen para cambiar el mundo. Eso es lo que hizo. Y 20 años después, DJ Screw tuercando el mundo todavía. Yes. Gracias a todos por escucha y gracias Google Translator. DJ Screw.
Okay, so thanks to DJ Screw and Google Translator. That's our two
Yes.
people today in the show.
Yes.
Okay, so thanks for everything. Thanks for your time. Thanks for your knowledge, and still, doing it and give us like beautiful information about what we love about the Skew and all the Houston great artists. So thanks
Thank
a lot.
you so much for the work that you do.
I will try like you. This is all love, you know. So thank you a lot, Rocky. And we invite, vamos a invitar a todos nuestros seguidores a que visiten tu perfil y a que indaguen un poco más en todo esto del hip hop de Houston, ¿ok? So,
Adiós.
adiós. Ok, pues